I've said a few times in this show that sometimes life imitates art. And it looks like with the 2021 NFL draft, uh, this was no exception. This is a case of what to me looked like jilted quarterbacks. In a lot of places around the NFL, there's been a lot of quarterback shuffling in the offseason. As you know, with Carson going to Indianapolis with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford changing places, trading places. That's almost that could be another life imitates art in and of itself. But this morning, I'd like to just share an observation that in the draft we saw as well an observation of kind of like jilted lovers. Cam Newton, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Aaron Rodgers have all had to sit and watch their teams uh, begin the process of leaving them for a younger model. And it reminds me of the 1996 movie, First Wives Club, Bette Midler, Diane Keaton, and Goldie Hawn, where all three of them were left for younger women by their husbands. Now, in this case, this isn't the quote unquote lovers here. In this case, would be Mac Jones in New England, would be Trey Lance in San Francisco, appearing to be poised to jettison Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's talking about a younger addition. He's only 20 years old. This kid's not even old enough to drink yet. Definitely a case of the team going for the younger model. And of course, Jordan Love was drafted by Green Bay last year, and the Packers and Rodgers were still married. And Aaron Rodgers has to watch this chick, watch this guy, knock on the door and show up and drink his coffee and read his paper. And it looks like, if we're going to use the analogy of the First Wives Club, it looks like Rodgers and the Packers might be headed for a very messy divorce. Of course, Mac Jones from Alabama appears to be ready to jettison Cam Newton. Cam Newton filled in the void that Tom Brady left in New England as he took off for greener pastures in Tampa Bay, went on to win a Super Bowl. And Cam Newton had the Patriots didn't have a great season, but I think he filled in well enough. They asked him to come back. They said, hey, come on back. And oh, by the way, Mac Jones is coming too. They didn't tell him that, though, until draft night. But, every club has a president, and the president of this club, this jilted QB club, is definitely Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers had to sit there and watch them draft Jordan Love last year. Not just draft him. They moved up to draft Jordan Love. They moved up to draft this man. Didn't get a wide receiver, which would have helped because they're pretty bare after Devontae Adams. Didn't work to get any help in the defensive backfield. Maybe somebody to help shore up the running game. All those options, and the Packers decided to trade up to get another quarterback. Didn't even give Rodgers a heads up. What does he do? He turns around. He has an MVP type of season. Brings them to the NFC Championship game. And by the way, maybe they win the NFC Championship game if they have some better receivers or linemen or defense. But instead they fall short to Tom Brady, who maybe got the Patriots thinking they should join the club because, Brady took off and we all know the history with that. So, it kind of reminded me, though, Rodgers is going to have the last laugh here because he's still playing at an extraordinarily high level. I think there's an argument to be made that at this moment in 2021, he's still the best quarterback in the league on the field. This is going to get ugly. This is going to be like Lisa in Cult Jam, where the Packers are going to be all alone on a Sunday morning. And Aaron Rodgers is going to say, apology not accepted, head me to the broken portion collected. I will stick to my day job and not start singing. And it also, we look at the parallels here. Over time, Brett Favre was the original broken heart the Packers had collected. But even the Packers let him retire, unretire, retire, and unretire for 3 years. Aaron Rodgers had to sit on the bench and wait. The Packers were cheating on Aaron Rodgers from the day they drafted him, basically. They basically brought him in and said, now you just sit here and watch us hang around with Brett Favre a little bit longer. But karma is something. The first Wives Club, one of the characters had to see a therapist. And I think, if I remember correctly, I haven't watched this a million times, but I watched it enough. I think the husband came back and tried to reconcile, and then basically pulled out on her and tried to stay with the younger woman, something like that. If you ladies are listening, you can straighten me out on that one. I remember another one, I think it was Goldie Hawn's character, was just addicted to plastic surgery because she wanted to stay in acting, and she had faked everything. By the end of the day, she probably could have, floated down the Mississippi River without a boat or a raft. She was so overcorrected. And then finally, there was one, I believe it was Bette Midler's character, ran into the husband and the younger lover in a department store. Then she found out later from her Uncle Carmine. It's funny how there's always a Carmine involved in some of these movies, that he was a crook, he was committing tax fraud, and she threatened to rat him out. And in the divorce, he just kind of gave everything away. Started giving everything away just to keep her quiet. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be like that character that I think it was Bette Midler who played. Okay, he's got the goods on Green Bay because they have nothing. And so we're going to do classic R&B. They have nothing. I won't say Whitney Houston, but they have nothing if they don't have him. They're not going to any championship games. They're not going to the playoffs, in my opinion. Rodgers right now said he has not. It was reported earlier saying he did not want to go back with Green Bay, and I don't think he's playing around this time. The Packers claim they won't budge, but they cannot budge all day. They can be like another Carson Palmer situation. They can get nothing. They can get nothing and just let him sit because Rodgers has plenty of money doing discount double checks and State Farm commercials and everything, or they can acquiesce to a trade. Now, it could be a swapping, a First Wives Club swapping. It could be a swap with San Francisco. That seems to be rumored to be the place he really wants to go and would be a great fit with their offense there right now. Minnesota, quite frankly, would love to have a second round of taking a former Packers quarterback. Remember, Brett Favre took the Vikings to within overtime of going to the Super Bowl before the Saints slammed the door on that. And maybe Aaron Rodgers will just, quote, retire like Brett Favre. Only to show up in camp the day before it starts and tell Jordan, move over, Bacon, have something medium. So, life imitates art. This certainly seems to be the NFL version of the First Wives Club, and I think that's, like I said, out of the three wives, out of Newton and Garoppolo and Aaron Rodgers, I think Aaron Rodgers still has a few cards up his sleeve. I think he's going to be the one to take the U-Haul truck and pack all the furniture of the house in the divorce. To be continued. Though it appears at the very end of this jilted QB story, Aaron Rodgers may be the one singing "You Don't Own It."